Thanks for joining us on Plus TV Africa. I'm Lakwe Banjo. We start with upcoming elections in Ekiti State. The INEC has commenced distribution of sensitive materials. The electoral materials were earlier received by the electoral body at the Central Bank office in Ado Ekiti, the state capital, today. The materials will be distributed to the 16 local government areas of the state. National commissioners, resident electoral commissioners, media security, and party agents were present during the distribution. Still on Ekiti State elections, there were several protests across the country, in Anambra and Abia states precisely, and also in Abuja, where the chairman of the PDP, Uche Secondus, led the protest with a petition to the National Assembly today accusing the Nigerian police and security operatives of maltreating a sitting governor, Fayose. He spoke with lawmakers outside the complex where he said the treatment of Governor Fayose was unfair. And from Ikere Ekiti, our correspondent Benga Aborowa is at the hometown of the All Progressive Congress candidate for Ekiti governorship coming up this Saturday. He gives us a situation report.
Road to freedom. Our forefathers have fought for it before, made protests against military.
We're here in the heart of Ado Ekiti, the Ekiti state capital, to find out who would occupy the Oke Ayaba government house. Over 35 political parties have been registered by INEC to participate in the 2018 gubernatorial elections. And the environment so far is peaceful and nothing untoward. But stay with us on Plus TV Africa to bring you updates and all the news concerning the 2018 gubernatorial elections in Ekiti State. My name is Benga Aborowa, reporting for Plus TV Africa.
Following yesterday's alleged assault of the Ekiti State governor, reactions and comments have been coming in, the most recent being Professor Patience Akpan Obong of the Arizona State University. She spoke with our in-house reporter, Mary Chinda, on the ongoing drama.
It's just unfortunate that after the 2015 elections, when we thought we had matured in terms of our democracy, we're still having problems of violence. So I think it's really sad that that came to that. And from reports, it's like there's a lot of police and military presence there. And in a democracy, that has no place there at all. People should feel free to disagree verbally, not with fisticuffs, and they should talk about issues and not situations where somebody is being beaten up.
Less than 24 hours to the Ekiti State governorship elections, security operatives have reportedly arrested the PDP deputy governorship candidate, Kazeem Deji Ogunshaki, and 3 other members of the State House of Assembly. State Governor Ayodele Fayose said this in a tweet yesterday with the caption, "Ekiti under siege again." He said that at the residence of Kazeem Deji Ogunshaki by armed policemen where the 3 members of the House were arrested too, with their whereabouts unknown. Governor Fayose's claim was also backed up by his special advisor on public communication and new media, Lere Olayinka, in a tweet where he named Wale Ayeni, Dr. Samuel Omotosho, and Musa Arogundade as the members of the House arrested. The APC says the deployment of 30,000 police officers to Ekiti is necessary to ensure peace and order during the governorship election in the state on Saturday. The party stated its position in a statement issued by its National Publicity Secretary, Malam Bolaji Abdullahi, in Abuja on Thursday. The party's position was in response to claims by the PDP party that the policemen were deployed to harass its supporters to favour APC's governorship candidate, Dr. Kayode Fayemi. As usual with elections, extra security deployment is routine to keep the peace for credible and transparent elections. With PDP's claim in its press statement, it is obvious that its leadership does not have the facts or of the actual events in Ekiti State, or it is deliberately attempting to divert public attention, the APC stated. It described the attitude of Governor Ayodele Fayose of Ekiti on Wednesday as comical, saying it was clearly contrived to give the public impression that he was being persecuted. The Ekiti Commissioner of Police, Mr. Ahmed Bello, will be holding a press conference today to discuss the state of security in Ekiti State and the preparedness of his men to maintain law and order during Saturday's governorship elections. The Nigerian police force deployed 30,000 officers for the gubernatorial elections. This decision has drawn criticisms from different sections. Some are of the opinion that the mere presence was intimidating for an election and not war. The police says Ekiti is a flashpoint when it comes to politicking and deploying 30,000 officers was not an over-deployment, but providing adequate coverage for any security situations that may arise before, during and after the elections. Plus TV Africa correspondent will bring us more updates on the state of security in Ekiti as it prepares for Saturday's elections. President Muhammadu Buhari receives the outgoing ambassador of Belarus to Nigeria, Mr. Vyacheslav Betkotsi, during a farewell audience at the State House in Abuja on July 12, 2018. President Buhari says education is the veritable doorway through which the boundless potential of youths can be positively harnessed for the benefit of the society and the country at large. He said this on Thursday when he received the outgoing ambassador of Belarus, Mr. Beskosti, at State House in Abuja. President Buhari was optimistic that the relationship between Nigeria and Belarus would grow stronger in the years ahead. The ambassador Beskosti, who has spent over 6 years in Nigeria as the pioneer ambassador of his country, said Nigeria has a big potential for economic cooperation with his country. He added that military and technical ties were proceeding satisfactorily. President Buhari has communicated his decision to withhold assent to 4 bills to the National Assembly. The presidential decision was contained in a letter read to members by the Speaker Yakubu Dogara at the start of the day's proceedings. The bills are the Corporate Manslaughter Bill 2018, Agricultural Credit Scheme Bill 2018, National Child Protection Bill, and Court and Tribunal Standard Scale Fines Bill. The president gave reasons for rejecting the bills, and the Corporate Manslaughter Bill, Buhari said several of its provisions were inconsistent with the 1999 Constitution on the Child Protection Bill. Buhari noted that the proposed agency would merely duplicate the functions of already established agencies and the Ministry of Women Affairs. He turned back the Court and Tribunal Bill for being ambiguous and conflicting with extant laws. Noura Hussein, a Sudanese teenager, gained global attention in May after a Sharia court law sentenced her to death for stabbing her husband as he tried to rape her. This triggered an outpouring of support globally under the hashtag Justice for Noura, including an online petition with over 1.5 million signatures appealing for clemency. Last month, a Sudanese court overturned the death sentence and jailed her for 5 years with a fine of 337 Sudanese pounds, an equivalent of $18,600. But campaigners working with Hussein's legal team in a new development have now filed an appeal seeking her unconditional freedom, with no fine or jail term to be served. They argue that the reduced sentence was unfair as she had acted in self-defense. A Dakar court jailed a group of teachers for up to 5 years for cheating in high school exams. A lawyer for the defendant said on Thursday that 42 people, including a headmaster, teachers and students, were accused of charges including criminal conspiracy, fraud, and fraudulently obtaining undue material benefits after baccalaureate papers were leaked in July 2017. The scandal resulted in the cancellation of French and history geography tests after topics were circulated on social media, including WhatsApp. A headmaster at a provincial high school was sentenced to 5 years in prison and fined 500,000 francs. After the trial on May 24th, a teacher in Dakar was given 2 years and a fine of 18 million francs, more than 20,000 euros. In addition to a confiscation of property, according to the lawyer, other sentences handed down to pupils and teachers range from 2 months suspended to 1 year. And when we return, we'll bring you updates on President Trump's visit to the United Kingdom and more. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. And on the foreign scene, Donald Trump has said the UK will probably not get a trade deal with the US if the Prime Minister's Brexit plan goes ahead. He told The Sun the PM's plan would probably kill the deal, as it would mean the US would be dealing with the European Union instead of with the UK. Downing Street has not yet reacted to Mr. Trump's remarks, and Theresa May has been making the case for a US free trade deal with Mr. Trump on his first visit to the UK as president. She said Brexit was an opportunity to create growth in the UK and US. The blast occurred at a plant which makes chemicals for food and pharmaceutical industries. An explosion at an industrial park in China's Sichuan province has left 19 people dead and 12 others injured. In a statement quoted by Reuters, the authorities in Jiangnan County said that the blast happened at a chemical plant run by Yibin Hengda Technology. Photos of Chinese social media showed a huge fire and plumes of smoke rising from the facility. It is not clear what caused the explosion. We'll take the business report shortly after this break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. And in business, the monthly Federation Account Allocation Committee meeting has been suspended indefinitely. Yesterday's scheduled meeting was the briefest, lasting less than an hour. Addressing reporters, Chairman of Commissioners Forum, Mr. Mahmoud Yunusa, said the meeting can only be reconvened after the process has been strengthened. According to him, the next meeting is a function of when we finish. What we are looking for is the process to be strengthened, and once the process has been strengthened, there is no need for this fight. He noted that the decision of the state government and other members of the FAAC to oppose Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation poultry remittances is about the system and process, and they are currently working on it. This is the third time the May accruals in the Federation account for disbursement in June 2018 has been postponed. This has crippled states and federal authorities from paying civil servants their June salaries. Our correspondent Irene Ubani brings us up to date on the power sector and the Nigerian Stock Exchange.
Business Day's Future of Energy series, themed Making Nigeria's Power Markets Bankable, brought together power operators in the generation, transmission and distribution sectors alongside those in the banking sector to discuss possibilities of eliminating the challenges faced in the power sector. Representing the chairman of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, James Momo, was Olufunke Dine, who spoke on the Commission's intervention plans to improve the country's power sector.
So one of the things the Commission has decided to do is to monitor the revenue management. The Commission has considered the possibility of having an IT platform where they can actually see real-time how money is being spent.
Various panel sessions were held on the state of the power structure.
But there has to be a central driving force to maintain the power sector reform. The key challenge we have in the country is we must have consistency of policy, okay, in this space.
Adeoye Fadeyibi, Managing Director, Eco Electricity Distribution Company, said,
But the problem we are having in this country, the infrastructures on ground, they are obsolete. If most of the infrastructures are not in right places, that means the maintenance cost is going to be very, very high.
After the discussion session between the DISCOs, GENCOs and TCN, we hope for a better and stable power supply in Nigeria. I am Irene Ubani, reporting for Plus TV Africa. The Nigerian stock markets closed on a downward trend as the all-share index dropped by 0.07% to close at 37,226.44. Leading the list of top gainers was International Breweries, which gained 2 naira 15 kobo, Angate Cement 2 naira, WAPCO 6 kobo, Custodian 53 kobo, and Stanbic 5 kobo. On the list of top losers were Beta Glass 9 naira, Forte Oil 1 naira 1 kobo, Nigerian Breweries 8 kobo, Angate Sugar 5 kobo, and GlaxoSmith 45 kobo. On the top trades were NACO, Access, Zenith Bank, Sovereigns, and international breweries. Equity capitalization closed at 13.485 trillion naira, and total number of deals were 3,228.
Thanks, Irene. Still ahead on Plus TV News is our roundup on sports and entertainment news. We'll be back in a moment.
In entertainment, Nigerian Afropop singer Tiwa Savage has announced the Savage Tour concert at Indigo O2 Arena in London. The mother of one is set to put on a one-woman show, which will hold on the 24th of August. She took to social media to share the good news with her fans with the caption, "Time is almost here. London, I promise you, Carnival weekend is going to be bananas." Recently, Adekunle Gold held a sold-out solo concert at the O2 Arena in London. Wizkid also made the headline with his sold-out Afro Republic concert at the O2 Arena this year as well. After the iconic feat by Wizkid, Davido is also planning to shut down the O2 Arena next year in January. On Thursday morning, nominations for the Emmys were announced by Blacklist Ryan Eggold and The Handmaid's Tale Samira Wiley. Some of the highlights include the nomination of the first woman of Asian descent, Sandra Oh, for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series, Killing Eve. Anthony Bourdain, who passed away in June, who has also been posthumously nominated for his work. This year, 36 first-timers are welcome to the nomination pool, including Jessica Biel and Penelope Cruz. Celebrities with the highest nominations are 7 in number, with Donald Glover and Bill Hader bagging 4 nominations too. A major contender for an EGOT, which is an acronym for stars who have bagged an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony Award. And John Legend is joining the list of the EGOT winners for his nomination this year. With 22 nominations, Game of Thrones is now the most Emmy-nominated drama in history. The 70th Primetime Emmy Awards is set to take place on Monday, the 17th of September at Microsoft Theatre in Los Angeles. Here's a quick look at some of the nominations as announced by Ryan Eggold and Samira Wiley.
To complete this morning's Emmy nominations, these are the nominees for Lead Actor in a Comedy Series.
These are the nominees for Lead Actress in a Comedy Series.
These are the nominees for Lead Actor in a Drama Series.
These are the nominees for Lead Actress in a Drama Series.
These are the nominees for Outstanding Reality Competition Program.
News. Taufik Abijako, a 19-year-old Nigerian designer, has been hailed the youngest designer to present a collection at New York's Fashion Week. Reports say he started in the business 2 years ago with the aim of making impactful statements with his designs. The Council of Fashion Designers of America say Taufik pays homage to his past by celebrating his West African culture through a contemporary perspective. His previous collections include Cruel Hands and Hooligans. Taufik's label will be debuting its Spring-Summer 2019 collection at the Men's New York Fashion Week. And that's it on entertainment, the very best in sports, right after this.
Hello and welcome to Sport Update on Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoko with the biggest stories in the world of sports. Nigeria's under-17 team, the Golden Eaglets, will battle Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Togo, Burkina Faso, and Niger, and Benin in Niger for the sole ticket for the CAF Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations to be hosted by Tanzania. The competition will hold from the 12th to the 26th of May 2019, and the qualifiers for the Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations will for the first time be played on a regional basis to determine the 7 teams to join host Tanzania for next year's final, according to a media statement from CAF. And Turkish giants Galatasaray have announced the capture of Nigerian forward Henry Onyekuru on a season-long loan deal from English club Everton. And Galatasaray had confirmed on Monday that they are in talks with Everton over a potential loan transfer of the young striker. And Everton will be paid an 800,000 euro loan fee, while Onyekuru will be paid 1.2 million euro plus 10,000 euro win bonus. He was loaned out to Anderlecht, where he overcame a slow start to hit very good form, scoring 9 goals in 19 league appearances and 10 goals in 28 games in all competitions, despite playing mostly as a wide forward. His campaign was cut short by a long-term knee injury that ultimately blew his Russia 2018 World Cup chances. And in tennis, Serena Williams will take on Angelique Kerber for an 8th Wimbledon singles title after both players won their semi-final games in straight sets. And Serena Williams defeated Germany's Julia Georges 6-2, 6-4, while Kerber beat Latvia's Jelena Ostapenko 6-3, 6-3. And revenge will be on Kerber's mind after she lost to Serena Williams in the 2016 showpiece. And Williams will be seeking her 24th Grand Slam title and her first since giving birth last September. And over to the male side, Nadal and Djokovic meet in a highly anticipated Wimbledon semi-final later today. And both tennis stars have met 51 times, which is more than any other two men in the Open era. And the pair are already ready to finally resume their long-standing rivalry on the Grand Slam stage. And the winner will play either John Isner or Kevin Anderson in Sunday's final. And for Nadal and Djokovic, they have won 29 Grand Slam titles between them, including 5 previous victories at SW19. And the pair have only met twice at Wimbledon, and Nadal winning their 2007 semi-final when Djokovic retired hurt, and the Serbian gaining revenge in the 2011 final. And that's it on Sport Update on Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoko.
Thanks, Udoka. And that's our news roundup of events. We'll be back later with more stories making the headlines. Do join us. I'm Lakbe Banjo. Have a great day.